Hi everybody, this is Jim, and I have a wonderful surprise today with a visit from Kent and Carol, who have Jolie, who is 14.
14, yes.
From Lily and Marius.
Yeah.
And we've been in touch all these years, and they're on their way out west, and they decided to drop by. And so we just wanted to say hello. And I want you to tell me a little story about Jolie. Tell some of her adventures. And
Well, Jolie started out with me. It was before Kent and I met. Within 2 weeks of my picking her up, she went to St. Bart with me, and that was her first international flight. And since then, she's been to Paris several times. We spent 4 years living on a sailboat in the Mediterranean
and the Caribbean.
And we have discovered that no matter where you are, everyone speaks dog. I mean, I remember one time being in Sardinia, I think it was, and someone walked up and they spoke no English, but they said, all they said was Coton, 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 pointing at Jolie. In Paris, little old ladies in their Chanel suits get down on their knees to make nice to Jolie. So she's been a wonderful, wonderful companion and world traveler. She's been in Turkey and Croatia and Italy and France and Tunisia even.
Wow.
And in some of the countries we've traveled, children are enamored by her, but they don't see little white dogs like this. Of course, she doesn't stay white in Paris especially. She ends up being gray like all white dogs in Paris are. But we give her a foot bath every night. And so she starts out the day white.
And she's a wonderful boat dog. She took to the boat like nothing to it. And it's a sailboat, so we would tack from leaning one way to another, and she would tack herself to the leeward side of the boat. And she's so smart. In 2 days, I taught her to pee on a little boot tray, which we throw over the side. So she would wedge down when weather got tough, but she was a real sea dog, real trooper.
She had, of course, her own life jacket with a tether so that we could secure her on the boat.
When the weather was rough.
But she loved to wander around the boat. And in fact, our boat is for sale now. We're moving back on land, but we visited friends in Marblehead recently, and Jolie was so happy to be back on the boat. She found her own wedge spots on their boat.
No kidding. That's
Yeah.
wonderful. Well, one of my fondest memories is watching Jolie in the production of Annie.
Oh, yes.
At the Marblehead Theater.
Yes.
Right,
I went down to see her.
Show dog, the theater
She
dog.
was amazing.
She has a little brick out in front of the Marblehead Little Theater with her name on it, and commemorative of her being in that show. She's quite an amazing dog.
Yes, she is.
And for 14, we think she's doing pretty well.
Now, can you share? People don't believe me, but can you share your wedding and how Jolie was involved?
Yes.
People do not believe me, so I want to hear.
We actually got married 10 years ago, and Jolie was the ring dog. She carried the ring. We were married in Old North Church in Marblehead, and Jolie carried the rings down the aisle on her back with the flower girl, and sat in her little bag at the front of the church during the wedding, and then escorted us down the street to the launch from the Eastern Yacht Club, where we went over to the yacht club for, I think she's maybe the only dog that's ever been allowed in the yacht club. But she was so well behaved that they couldn't resist.
And we went to see the manager about getting the arrangements for the wedding reception, and Jolie was there in her bag. She was very quiet, and at the end of the thing, and he said, "And Jolie's part of the wedding party, I take it?" And he said yes, and he says, but she was there, and I taught her. You know how smart Cotons are, Jim. I taught her in 2 days to sit up on her haunches, you know, just like a little bear, and I fed her wedding cake. And we have this wonderful picture of the club manager standing in the background, me feeding Jolie wedding cake and him kind of shaking his head. In his formal dining room, this is a stuffy old place.
Yes.
So it was great fun.
Oh, well, thank you for sharing that, because it's one of my fondest memories of Jolie when she was younger.
Don't forget her 5th birthday party.
Yes.
With all the dogs and people
Yes.
in Marblehead.
I remember bringing Ponine.
Yes.
And I think Mystique came down. I think.
And she had her first birthday party in Nantucket, where we were living at the time. So yes, she is a sweetie.
She's quite a dog.
And her website is termed "Everybody Loves Jolie."
Yes, I will put a link on my website. So this will go on YouTube. I will send you the link, and I can't tell you how happy I am to see you,
to see you.
and you looking wonderful.
Good to see you and all the dogs.
And have a safe trip. I haven't seen you in maybe 7 or 8 years.
Well,
We've just kept in contact. I think the last time is when I went down to Marblehead for the birthday party.
her birthday party.
Yeah, and then you went off to different countries.
Later, sure.
And again, one of my favorite pictures of Jolie is having when you sent me a picture of her having with the breakfast on the bed in the hotel in Paris.
Yes.
I love those shots. So thank you again. Have a wonderful trip. And I'll post this, and I hope this will be a fond memory for us to refer to. Okay, so bye-bye.
Okay.
Say Jolie, bye-bye.
Bye, puppy.
Bye, Jolie. Bye, baby.